welcome to Jurisage Academy, and today I'll be taking up another video of LLM entrance analysis. And today the institution which I'll be taking up for the analysis is IIT Kharagpur. So apart from the name tag of IIT Kharagpur, what can be a tempting thing to be a part of IIT Kharagpur? Because the name itself is not that tempting for the legal students. It has its value for the technical branch but not as much as for the legal field. So apart from your mainstream entrance examination, that is CLAT and IIT, other institutions in the lines which I am dealing up some in the successive videos or which I have dealt in the previous videos are Banaras Hindu University, Delhi University, and one is IIT Kharagpur. So something common in them and common in the mainstream LLM entrance examination or the institutions are that CLAT and IIT gives you the area or gives you the opportunity for 1 year LLM master course, whereas IIT Kharagpur PHU DU gives you the scope for 2 years full-fledged LLM master degree course. So what is the procedural requirement, what is the curriculum, how to follow up the preparation, what are the syllabus, and what are the seat intake, I'll be successively dealing in this video all these points respectively. So starting with the procedural requirement and why IIT Kharagpur first of all. So what happens in the NILUs or other institution is for the master course basically that they offer you varied fields for your specialization, and every institution has this prerequisite of that there should be some minimum number of students to follow up that specialization. So if there is no minimum number of student for particular specialization, then the university ends up in dropping that particular specialization. So the people or the candidates who are very much and deeply interested in IP specialization, this is the institution, because this Rajiv Gandhi School of Intellectual Property Laws gives you the opportunity for IP specialization for your master degree course, and that's the only specialization in IIT Roorkee. So one if is aspiring for other institution or 1 year LLM course, that's fine, that's absolutely fine. But there are other institutions which are also fixed that they will definitely provide you with IP specialization, but there is a slightest chance or there can be a chance of dropping that course, and one might end up in not getting up the specialization which one is thinking or motivated for. So all those who are deeply interested for IP specialization, this is the institution. And there's another motivation or a criteria that candidates who manage to score enough good CGPA of 8.5, they need not to struggle with the process of admission and entrance as well. IIT Kharagpur gives them admission directly to the institution if they actually manage up with this CGPA. So this is a requirement for to be a part of IIT Kharagpur. Forms for IIT Kharagpur comes every year in the month of January, and the exam conducts first in the line of all LLM entrance examination. So the exam for IIT Kharagpur is conducted in the month of April. Normally it has been conducted between April 20 to 25. The exam type is objective with 120 objective questions and is being followed by an interview schedule. So that is being followed immediately after your date of examination, and the aggregate of it cumulatively gives you the scope or the path for entry into IIT Kharagpur for your LLM degree course. So these are the requirements what one has to do, and what are the form dates, what are the exam dates, how to get into that. So what is a seat number one has to fix about how much preparation or how much input one has to give. So seat in IIT Kharagpur are generally 20. Adding up all the variation and late entries and the vacant seats, calling for vacant seats, it ends up to 30 seats. So if you are totally motivated for IP specialization, and if you are done for 2 year master degree course, that you are fine taking up 2 year master degree course, this is the institution. All you have to do is put the maximum effort to bring up your rank from 1 to 30th or like if you are even getting after that and there are some vacancies, so at least manage to bring up your rank within the area, within the ranking of 50 to be a part of counseling schedule per se. So after this, like all these procedural requirements and the formalities, let us come to the discussion of the syllabus. So I've been dealing with the videos of all the LLM entrance examination, and I'll be categorizing them into two. One, there's a mainstream, that is CLAT and ILET, and then there are individual institution giving you giving you scope for LLM in the institution as well. So what is the main division is, as I already told you, NLUs give you like give you 1 year specialization for masters, whereas these institutions give you the scope for 2 year LLM degree course. And while why I'm categorizing them into two and what's the purpose behind it, so if I took up the syllabus of the ILET, CLAT, and if I took the syllabus of other examinations, so there's a bifurcation that every exam has some common subject with these two, ILET and CLAT, and these examination apart from ILET and CLAT are having common subjects within themselves as well. So if I come to the subject area of IIT Kharagpur as well, so there are these mainly subject area. Those are your jurisprudence, constitution, contract, tort, criminal law, international law, and as well as your IPR. So these are the subjects which definitely comes in your CLAT, and that is, and then there's a division of other examination, that is DU, BHU and IIT Kharagpur, and then there's a division of subject which is common in them but which does not clashes with the subjects in CLAT. So these are your personal law, procedural law and environmental law. So now this is a bifurcation and these are the subject in toto if I kind of put up subjects together. So what I'm trying to say with this mark or division is if like you have to figure out which way you have to lead in your preparation to. With CLAT and ILET you can easily pick up preparation for other examination as well, but for other examination you have to make up some extra effort to add up the subjects in your subjects in your preparation. But if you are preparing for other examination which I termed as like for 2 year LLM degree institution, then you can easily take up preparation for your CLAT and ILET as well, because subject in them and CLAT are totally common. So if I come to the analysis of question paper or the subject wise for IIT Kharagpur, so like I told you in CLAT, now the quantity of questions for jurisprudence has been decreased in CLAT, but the same is not with the other examination. This in IIT Kharagpur also jurisprudence has been given a good value in their question paper, and not in the terms of the numbers of question but in the terms of degree or the like value of question. So it's not like main question of just answering to who the philosopher was or who the writing or what a statement followed up with which philosopher. You have to put in some extra effort to come to understand jurisprudence from their base and to put up your logic while you are facing the questions for jurisprudence. So by logic here I mean is you have to understand the school and philosophy of every philosopher. So there if comes a question you can relate them basically. So again what I'm saying is ki the value, not value, basically the content of the jurisprudence is slightly different from the CLAT. Now CLAT, because it has reduced to and the number here is bit larger, so there's a slight difference of the question and the kind of question which the exam is going to put forward for you. So here in jurisprudence you have to put in some extra effort, not just to mug up the like main minimum concept, but you have to understand jurisprudence, especially to relate the questions. So if I come to jurisprudence, what is the main aspect in jurisprudence is your school, your philosophers, and then later development by the philosopher. So if I come to if I come to Austin, so there's this positive theory of Austin, and if I come later, so then while we deal with the Hoffields right and duty, there also the philosophers are having their part. So what you have to do is you just need not to pick the like Austin for positive school. You have to even go to other areas where these philosophers have their major roles. And what is the upcoming trend in jurisprudence these days are, so like if you're just solving the past year question paper, that is not solving your purpose for the examination. You have to come up and you have to kind of make more input into reading jurisprudence through like latest year question paper. So if you will give a look into, so you will definitely find there are different type of theories which are being now in the area of questions which are being asked, rather than the mainstream theories which were just limited to your positive school or realist school or pounds or something like this. So there are upcoming not upcoming philosophers in the sense of the philosophers are modern, upcoming in the sense that question paper are bringing up these philosophers and kind of bringing something new into the pattern of question paper. So it's not like if you're just solving the past year question paper, you are done with the preparation. You have to put in efforts to read more and more jurisprudence, for which I have been like again and again citing literatures. You can pick any good book. You can pick P.N. Mani Tripathi. You can pick V.D. Mahajan for your preparation as a base. From there you can definitely get an idea of what jurisprudence is actually dealing up, and apart from that, do solve past year question paper. I'm just saying that just don't limit yourself to the solving of question paper. So pick both of them, club together and start up your preparation for jurisprudence. Next comes in the line is constitution. Constitution, I've been repeatedly saying, Bare Act will serve the purpose. Bare Act will surely serve the purpose if you read Bare Act every day, day by day, day by day, and you develop your understanding of what Constitution was and what is the present states of Constitution. Because in Constitution, more than your Bare Act, what is a new upcoming trend is, because India is witnessing every year new emerging legal decisions and the variations in legal decision. So if there is article 25, now it's not just limited to article 25 which is related to practice of religion, right to right to profess and propound your religion. So what is the new developing things in, like present in the case of Sabrimala, there is a test of EPR. So now there's a possibility that question might come to you, what is essential religious practice, in which case it was been kind of given by the Supreme Court, in which case test was been kind of called by Supreme Court for the evaluation or something like this. So what is like now Constitution is just not limited to your bare act reading. You have to relate with the present legal ongoings as well to kind of club them and bring up a better understanding. So for literature, if I cite, Bare Act will definitely solve the purpose. Pick up a Bare Act from P.N. Bakshi, read it again and again and again and again, but start relating your articles with the present legal ongoings, and that will help your purpose in both the ways. So when I said about your interview, so what I'm saying is ki if you're picking up present legal development in very good manner and very detailed manner, that will not only help you in your subjective writing, but definitely will help you in kind of widening your scope towards and your approach towards the present legal changes, and that kind of will give you a direction for your interview points as well. So what I am thinking, if you are making good efforts to read all this in a very good manner, then this will definitely add to your interview preparation as well for IIT Kharagpur. So this is for constitution. Coming to other subject, contract and tort, at least they are having this secure side that you can read them as they were already. So contract always comes in a part for like mainly it comes with a part from section 1 to 75. You have to put lot many efforts there only. And tort also you can just pick a literature from R.K. Bangia and read the whole book in a very good manner, detailed manner. What are the technicalities of different tests, what are the different defenses, what are the different defense to defenses and such. So in tort, like you can follow up the tort in the same manner for every examination. Coming to IPR, as this is in school of IPR, so what you have to do is just not limit yourself to the bare act provisions, like that will suffice the idea. Everyone has read IPR in their 5-year or 3-year LLB course, and your basic minimum understanding of what were the sections and what were the main outlines of different IPR acts what you have to add into this is, please go on with the recent and present ongoings of IPR as well. So if I talk about geographical area, so like in this year there was a question in CLAT that how many GI are being kind of registered or something like this. I have to like recheck to be appropriate for that, but there was a question like this. So what you can do, because this is school is giving you the scope for IPR specialization only, you have to kind of build up your knowledge better in IPR as well. So if like what are the GIs which are in India which are being registered, what are the famous GIs, patent, if there's some ongoing case about patent, if there's some ongoing decision about patent, if there are some amendments to this. So for IPR, please put up some extra effort apart from your bare act and your minimum base reading. For at least in IIT Kharagpur, because in rest of them the proportion is for 10 marks or maximum it ranges between 5 to 10, but in IIT Kharagpur it might vary and it might give you some really value added, like really kind of different question, not the mainstream question putting up direct to you just the sections or just the criteria. So what I'm suggesting is please kind of develop your knowledge better in IPR as well. Then comes your international rights clubbing with human rights. So human rights, there are some certain sets: UN Charter, UDHR, IPC, IP, like political and civil rights. What you have to do, you have to read them in a very good manner that will serve the purpose for human rights, and the same for international. So I've been keep repeating, like international, if there are some major ongoing, please go through them, please read them in a bit deep manner, so you, like if there's a question, just relate with it. So relate with it, like in recent there was this case of Geneva Convention where the after this Balakot attack. So what were the convention, or in convention what are the provision through which India and Pakistan dealt to kind of release the captain and the commander. So what you have to, like, please come up with the present ongoing international law, but apart from that your minimum book reading or minimum guide reading will serve the purpose for your general questions, which year what happened, which year what not happened, and the materials which have been provided by Jurisech will serve the purpose for your reading of international rights, international human rights. Coming to criminal, so criminal, in this also it comes in a club form of a criminal procedure code, evidence act, and IPC. So IPC, I've already mentioned the like good sections which one needs to consider again and again, that is offense against property, offense against body, and your offenses, like what all offenses are there, your punishments, your general defenses, your general exceptions. So these are some core sections which one need to be well versed for every examination. It need not to be mentioned again and again, because IPC is not being be witnessed with very huge amendments or such. So what all amendments are there? Basically they are been for POSCO and Juvenile Act and such. So just clear up your mind with these amendments in the like recent past year. What were the amendment and what did actually brought up by those amendments? So IPC can be dealt in this manner. CRPC and evidence, again evidence is like read up a whole act. Generally question comes from your what sort of evidences are there, and generally it comes from which evidence has what value, like if it is electronic evidence and such question. But kind like evidence kind of read the whole, like bare minimum reading of the minimum bare act reading will serve the purpose for evidence. For CRPC as well, there are some like some findings in the case laws which will be duly notified by jury research. Apart from that, please keep updated yourself with the live law and bar and bench sites, where they give you the kind of summary of every case law, which is kind of important for legal aspirants to read in general also, and for your exam preparation as well. Apart from that, your minimum sections of cognizance, arrest, warrant, custody, and such. So these are the like sections which one has to look for CRPC, because CRPC bail and all such sections as well, because CRPC is too vast to cover up as a whole. But again, which I kept focusing in every video is ki whatever you read in your law schools is the base for every act or every legal thing you are reading. So please keep yourself updated and well versed with the reading which you already did in your law school. So that will more or less serve your purpose for your exam preparation as well. Coming to the other laws which I said ki are not common from mainstream examination but are common for other examination. So personal law, I have insisted that please go read Bare Act very carefully. It will serve your purpose. Plus add on the legal goings as well, because in personal act there are many cases related with marriage, choice of a partner, registration. So these all add up to your knowledge that you should read them. Kind of just make an idea in which case what was the decision. Need not to go into the details of every case law or something, because that kind of question generally is been put for the constitutional law question, or administrative law question. But for personal law, your reading of bare minimum judgment or line of judgment would suffice. So at least get to know in what case what was being held for. So coming to procedural. So procedural, as I've already told, it generally comes in the criminal law only, but civil law that can also come in this IIT Kharagpur, but it's not clear unless there is a final notification for the examination. But environmental law, so you can pick up the preparation for environmental law, read every act, at least the minimum about the organization, what are the bodies inside the act, when did the act came. Because in environment, again, like last year there was a case of firecracker, again there's this present ongoing of Delhi pollution. So because of the environmental changes, though there are not much legal in a sense, so not much case development in the field of environment, but what you have to do, at least keep updated with the present climate agreements, or present climate ongoing, or present climate conferences or exchanges which have been happening. So there was a news about Paris, about climate agreement that Paris denied, and then there was a news of Amazon fire. So what all happenings were there, and what happened regarding to that happenings when in some agreement or conferences. So what was the discussion, and because of any environmental disaster, was there a resulting conference or a development or such. So at least keep yourself updated with them, because there is no legal development in the sense of no case law development, but there is surely a development in the area of some conferences or some talk has been held because of the major environmental disaster. So please keep yourself updated with them as well. And for all these things which I'm repeatedly saying, keep yourself updated with the legal ongoing. One need not to do like lot many efforts. What one has to do is please keep yourself updated with the news every day. At least read the headline of the news ki this happened because of this. Even if you're not going into deep, at least read the headlines of the news. And which are the major judgment, please start making your notes for your major judgment. That will definitely help you for your subjective and whichever exam it is going to come, and as well as your interview for whichever exam it is going to come. But coming to IIT Kharagpur, I would like to say mainly that this is the first exam in the line of LLM entrance. So please start preparing for it from now itself, as you don't have much time. So before waiting for the coming of a notification for it, at least start preparing for your minimum clashing or minimum common subject which comes in every exam. So start preparing or start grooving your preparation in a much more better manner. So when it comes to notification, you are kind of decided as to which exam you have to take much or the most seriously, and which side you want to develop your preparation accordingly. So this is all for now, and today for IIT Kharagpur LLM entrance. Thank you and all the best for your examination. Thank you from Research Academy.